Hey, welcome to the Back 9 coverage of the 2021 St. Charles Open, brought to you by Skyheiser Productions. I'm Rebekah Kersey, and joining me I have my friend and teammate, Rob Banden, president of the St. Charles County Disc Golf Club.
Thank you, Rebekah. It's great to be here on coverage, and it was an honor for the club to be able to collaborate with Smokin Disc Golf on our first ever A-tier event here in St. Charles County. The front nine proved to be a bit treacherous as Indian Camp Creek can be. Taking a look at the leaderboard heading into the back nine, we have Brock Rohler at 3 under, Jake Hebenheimer at 1 under, Derek Green at 1 over, and Drew Cantrell at 2 over.
We do want to give a big thank you to all of our event and club sponsors listed in the banner below for helping make this tournament possible. Hole 10, 255 feet. This is a par 3. It's slightly uphill. It's the second easiest hole. You want to get a birdie on this one. You're going to throw like a midi or maybe a putter up the gap. Or you can fling a forehand up there. Lots of options here. All you know is that this is one that you want to get.
It's definitely a birdie or bust type hole. It is a little tough up top though with that low ceiling. You do have a low ceiling coming in, so you might see a couple skip shots. Just kind of depends on how they want to play it.
And it looks like Jake is lining up what could be a shot with a putter or a mid-range. It looks like a putter to me, though.
250 uphill. You got the power.
For sure.
Looks like he might have got over on it a little bit, but it still pushed through.
It did. It snuck up there pretty far and then kicked out left. He will have an opportunity.
Derek here, I would assume, probably throwing a mid, maybe a putter.
Yep, also with the backhand. Slings one up there, and it looks like it got a little beat up by that grouping of trees on the right there.
Yeah, you have a pretty solid cluster to the right and to the left, and then their OB does circle around the back. Shouldn't really be in play for these guys, but you never know if they get a hold of one. Brock. Look like a nice flip up, hyzer flip there.
That's what you're looking for, is really just to slide one up to the pin.
Exactly.
Oh, looks like we'll get to see a forehand out of Drew here. This is my play.
Yeah, I typically go with the same. The key is you got to keep it low under those trees on the left side unless you're trying to play a big flex.
He pops one up there, and I can't tell if that hit a branch or not, but it looks like he's just at the edge of the circle by that mature tree, that picturesque mature tree up top.
That thing's well over 100 years old.
It is.
It's huge.
Beautiful. All times of the year. It's one of my favorite parts of this course.
There are definitely times while we're out playing, there's wedding photos, wedding party photos, and engagement photos being taken under that tree. So.
Yeah, it's massive. Let's see if Derek can one from downtown. Circle 2, you think?
Yeah, circle 2.
Good bid. Solid.
Great bid. You can see the leaves moving a little bit up in the trees as well, so there is some wind moving.
Yeah, I think it does slightly start to pick up as their round continues, if I remember correctly.
A couple of these holes are a little bit more open too, like the top of 10 where this basket is, and then on to 11 is pretty much a wide open fairway.
Sure. Yeah, you're a little more exposed and susceptible to the wind. So we see Jake off the top of the basket for his birdie putt. Here's Drew's effort.
Nice putt, Drew.
Nice, buddy.
Way to recover.
Brock steps up for what looks to be like a 15-footer. He likes to make it easy on himself.
Right.
Can't blame him.
He's doing it right.
Yep. He steps off, so maybe someone moving in the background or some wind. And wow, I did not expect that. Didn't see that one coming.
It doesn't happen too often. Something must have gotten his head.
Yeah.
There.
Yep.
Could have been some wind, maybe somebody moving in the background.
Yep. Just having to reset, and not be able to pull the trigger when you want to. Sometimes can get in your head.
Couple tap ins. On we go. Hole 11, par 4, 480 feet. This one is downhill with OB on the left and the right. Fairway sloping from the left to the right, so it makes it a little bit difficult. For a lot of these guys, it's going to be a hyzer backhand kind of out over the OB and let it crash down into the fairway. But again, you have long grass all the way down, so you got to make sure you get your nose angle right and get back in the fairway.
Yeah, this is one of those holes that if you have the distance to get all the way to the mouth, it's definitely less scary. Otherwise, from the blue pads, you have to find a pretty narrow fairway.
Yeah, that's a great shot there by Drew. You see just outside circle 1.
That was awesome.
And this is a par 4, so there will definitely be some eagle bids.
I think that was Jake.
Jake, yeah.
He put that one close. Derek's trying to do the same. Flies one out over that right side OB, and he's just looking to hyzer back in. Got a little roll, though.
Oh, yeah, he's in bounds.
It's hard to tell where he's at.
Hole 11 on this day played .29 strokes under par, so it is one of the easier holes.
And it looks like Bach made that mistake that can happen if you hang it out and it doesn't come back.
Yep, just kind of drifted out, and it's going to be, yeah, he's marked pretty well up the hill.
So he's going to change his approach into the green, and he's going to go with a forehand now to kind of match the slope and to hopefully hit that gap on the left side and punch into the green.
Great shot.
That's a great shot.
Let's go, Doc. Let's go.
He has a really well-controlled forehand.
Yeah, that was pretty textbook. So, I mean, his ability to scramble is really helping his game. When he does make a mistake, he does something like that to follow it up.
Yeah, Derek looks like he, well, from the back view, looked like he might have been compete with that tree. This looks like a pretty good 2-bid. Stay in. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, this is playing as a par 4, so that was an eagle we just saw right there.
Heck yeah.
Way to go, DG. Slap the top of that basket.
Drew here. I think, well, yeah, Drew and Jake both have eagle bids from here.
Man, that's crazy. That is some distance.
Line it up. Let's see if he can carry that momentum on from 10.
Barely too high. You
Yep.
know? So close.
Is that a leaf dancing across there? What is that? Jake with pretty much a tap-in eagle.
Yep. That's insane.
The rest of the guys tapping out.
Hole 12. 411 feet, par 3. You're going to throw over OB on your drive. OB is all the way down the left side and long of the basket. You have a tree line on the right side. It's safe, but it's no fun to be in. The basket sits in this little grouping of trees here. So here you can see this tee shot where they have to carry this over this tall grass. So it's kind of a blind shot just because the grass is so tall.
Yeah, it's another one of those important angles. You know, you have to get the nose angle right, because if on a backhand here, if you fluff it and don't put enough on it, you're going to hyzer out into the left side and OB, which Jake is competing with. And yeah, OB.
Yep. It just hit, the disc turned back out of it too quickly and found that left side OB.
You have to commit. Absolutely.
Commit without turning it into that right
Yeah.
side tree line.
Well, yeah, because the right side's, it's natural OB in there. When you get in those trees, it's tough.
Let's see what Derek can do.
He's got to turn.
Came out good.
It kicked out nicely, but still couldn't quite hit that angle that he needed to avoid the trouble on left and right.
Drew, I'm kind of surprised to see going with a backhand here. I don't know.
Yeah, I
feel
wonder
like
if it
fits
has
a
to do
good
something with the
forehand
wind.
flex. I feel like it fits a good forehand flex, but he's got a good look at good angle on that. A little low, but I think he's still out in the fairway.
Brock is last on the box. Let's see what he has for us. I don't know if he's been last in the box all day. Ooh, that looks nice. That just needs to stable
Glad you
up
threw
out
that
of
one.
it. And, you know, it's so deceiving. There's got to be some wind out there playing with those.
There has to be, yeah, with them turning as much as they are.
For sure. They all look like they would turn back out of it and just slide right up there.
Get some love.
Rock with a long bid. Nice pitch up. Take your 3.
Actually,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think that might have been Drew.
Okay, so that was Brock pitching up.
Yep.
DG looks like maybe just inside circle 2. A couple trees to contend with.
Ooh, that was a great run. That was a good run.
Just barely splashing out.
This is Jake's shot. He's playing from where he went out of bounds.
Yep, that's correct.
And it does slope a little past the basket, so now he has a little comeback putt up. I wouldn't call it little maybe, but it's uphill.
Yeah, it's uphill. Great comeback. Yeah, you can definitely see, look at those leaves falling. The wind is significantly picked up here on 11 or on 12.
Brock is in the basket, and that is for a par.
Drew tapping out for his par as well. And then DG, yeah, he's got the jacket on. Did it rain? I think it might have rained a little bit this afternoon.
Yeah, I think a storm kind of started to blow through.
Okay, hole 13, par 3, 210 feet. Shortest hole on the course, but it is not easy. There are a lot of trees in the fairway. You're pretty much trying to turn a putter over and have it stable up. Try to sit next to the basket.
Yeah, it is quite a turn. It's a turn even from the red pads, but then these blue pads are angled back even further, making that turn to the right towards the basket even more drastic. You just pop it up and let it float down there and hope that you get over that creek. It's not usually filled with water, but just something you don't want to be in.
Yeah, it plays casual. Here we see Drew lining up beforehand, but yeah, for the backhand, just an understable putter would be enough for these guys, and then a forehand, which I've seen Drew lace a line like this many times. So yeah, missed out on the skip a little bit.
Yep, just outside the circle. I wonder what that was that he threw. Looks like Brock is going to try that as well.
And the hard part with the forehand is you have to get the angle right, but it has to push. You have to put enough energy on it. That looks pretty good. Yep.
Yeah, it just dumps him right into the... Oh, actually, he didn't even make it down to the other side. Okay, so he's over there by the steps.
And Jake looking to line up a backhand.
Let's see if one of these can get over there. I would love to see that.
Camera showed up the hill. Couldn't quite see where it landed.
And
but
that
it
could
might
be a
have-
tough putt. It's going to be pretty downhill and then a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and the green does fall off to the right, so if he is up the hill, it's a full downhill putt. Nice layup there by Brock.
Oh, yeah, there he is up,
He's way up there.
yeah. Behind him is the next hole that we will be going to.
Sit.
Looks like he tries to play it safe, catches a root, and gets the roll, which is never fun when you're kind of just trying to toss one up by the basket and hope to walk away with your par.
I kind of feel like that happens to me a lot. You know, you try to lay up and you just get that nasty roll.
Trying to play smart.
Mm-hmm. Drew just
Good
a little
bid.
bit low. That
He
needs
also
to sit
gets
as
some-
well.
Yeah, some reaction off the basket there, and there's that little slant we were talking about. It's just enough that you can get a roll away and end up with a nasty putt.
And guarded as well. Just foliage.
Yeah, so this is Jake for his 3. Can you do it?
Yeah.
That is a great putt from a knee.
Yeah,
Just at the edge.
stretched out. Hasn't had a whole lot of confidence in his putting today. That's
Yeah.
got to feel good.
I agree. This is Drew after his rollaway. Let's see if he can get it up and in and just move on to the next.
Yes. Sir.
It's Dick's.
Nice putt. 13 today, played 2.81, so just under par. But for these guys, we're looking pretty much just for pars as of now.
So, okay, so Derek, is this his?
This is his for par.
Okay,
This is his
that's
third
what I
shot,
was
yeah.
thinking. All right. So we're not seeing any birdies on our card.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was a birdie for Derek.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I was.
He
yeah.
did get all the way down there.
Very
My
nice.
apologies.
Rob's trying to rob you of one. 14, par 4, 612 feet. This is uphill, and you have the OB left and right all the way down, both sides. It's a slanted fairway that kind of slopes off to the left, so you have to make sure that that angle and nose control is exactly the way you want it to be. So they need to get off of the box here and set them up for their next shot. They got to get up to the top of this hill.
And the camera almost doesn't do this enough justice. This is a massive hill. Even up to the red pad, which you can kind of see off to the left, you can see the T sign. Even from the red pad, this is substantially uphill. So this is get as far up the fairway as you can and keep it in bounds.
Yep. Let's see what Derek does.
Wind bounce there.
Yeah, he does just that, though.
Yeah, that's ideal.
Drew's up next.
Can only imagine the amount of wind coming off the top of that hill too. As soon as it crests,
Yep.
it's going to do something goofy. Drew with a little bit of a flippier disc, but he's safe. He's in the fairway.
Yep, you just have to be safe. You don't want to go off out of bounds on the drive here, because it's just going to leave you either re-teeing and trying this shot again, or some weird footing with the grass in your run-up if you play it forward.
Especially with the uphill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll try that right now.
Jake, bottom of the box here. He always lines up like he's got that steep hyzer, like he's going for the hyzer flip.
It fakes me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do see that he has worked his way back to, under par, even with the putting woes. If he can just get this one to bite.
Oh yeah, he's safe.
Yes, it's OB all the
Also,
way.
shout
all
out,
the way
thanks
back
again to our volunteers who we just saw.
Yes.
Spotters throughout the day.
You guys were so helpful just to keep the flow of everything going. It just makes it so much easier on the players, and we really appreciate you guys.
Brock with a good looking forehand just outside of circle one.
And they are playing to the B position. There's actually a basket that's even further than this. This hole can be stretched out really long.
Yeah, it can. The one main guardian here is that set of 3 trees, I think it is, right there in front of the basket that Derek threw right at. Hopefully he gets around it. But yeah, you want to push. Oh man,
That
that's
was
perfect.
great. You want to do that, essentially.
Yeah, just do that.
That's exactly it. See if Jake can figure it out. Find the line.
Can you just skip?
Just a little short.
So that's probably going to be kind of a difficult putt. He's got the low ceiling of the tree in front of him. He's really going to have to spin it.
You can't really tell from here, but the branches hang down just enough that they are a nuisance.
Ooh, I thought he might have got a bounce off the tree and in right there.
That would have been sweet. Drew's turn to give a little go. Hopefully we see a nice bit out of him here. See what he's got. Taking his time as that wind is probably a little prevalent up there on the top of that hill and just
He got a
knocks
piece of
him
the
down.
branch. Yeah, he got a piece of the branch as well. It's really tough when you're trying to fight out and all of a sudden the wind comes on and you have obstacles in front of you. It makes for a really tough mental day, more so than physical.
Brock goes to a knee at the edge of the circle. Doesn't get it up. I mean, we still haven't got a Derek shot yet. He really
No,
parked
Derek,
that thing.
Derek is parked for birdie.
All right, so we are going to see some tap outs here. Cleaning them up.
Yeah, interesting bit of information on this hole. Played exactly at par.
Ah, that is weird.
Yeah,
Interesting.
for the entire day. So pretty straightforward.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. Moving into hole 15, par 4, 455 feet. It is a dogleg right. You want to get down the fairway, not too far, just in front of the tree line. Make it turn right, whether it's a backhand or forehand. I assume we'll see a couple forehands here, but not by DG. To a guarded basket back in the tree line there. So you need to try to get up there and get the turn around that big tall tree that you see on the right-hand side. About like that. He may be a little bit inside.
Yeah, I
trying
think he
to
kind of cut it a little short.
Yeah.
This
wanna get
is
it-
tough because the angle kind of S's its way from the pad up to the basket, and I think if you're throwing a backhand, you just want to try to get to the mouth of the hole.
And that's a backhand. Look at that thing turning. Oh.
Yeah, because anywhere in there, if you don't poke through, it can be hard to get around those grouping of trees that are just behind the B pin.
Yeah.
And
This
we
is
are
kind of
playing
what
to see.
This is kind of what I thought we'd see from Brock.
Yeah, big like S curve flex forehand that hopefully stables up at the end, just at the right time, of course.
Yeah, that looks like a really good line.
Like that. Yeah.
That's ideal. Probably a nice little tree kick there too to keep him out of the junk.
Is he lining up a roller? Sir?
looks-
Is that what?
It looks like it. I've never seen a roller on this hole.
Okay. Well, I think we're about to. This looks interesting. Oh my goodness. Oh my
That's
word.
got to stand up.
That was.
Fight
Oh
out.
my gosh. That was awesome.
That was sweet. Did you see that thing get like slammed over all of a sudden?
Yeah. He might be a little long in that tree line, but he should just be able to like lean out and toss a forehand up there.
That was a great shot, Jake.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I like that.
Here you see Drew came up a little short on the corner, and this is what you see a lot, is just try to push up and over and around if you can. Sometimes you do see some rollers coming around that corner.
Yeah. I mean, it is a par 4, so at worst you pitch out and pitch up, take your par, but yeah, they want to try to cut around this corner and get there if they can. And Derek probably came up a little short of where he wanted to be ultimately, but again, par 4, he just needs to toss up to the basket and move on. And that should be inside the circle.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was going for a skip shot there.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it just burned out and didn't really flare back.
Jake's kind of a tricky lie here. Flex forehand, that's a good up. Parked for a birdie.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Just like that. That's all. That's what I do. All right, so I wonder, it looks like Brock is thinking about going around the left side of this tree right in front of him. And just
Good effort,
tosses it
honestly.
under the basket for his easy birdie.
Drew here, he's got a long look for a 3. This is a bit downhill as well, so if he misses, well, it looks like he's got some logs back there, so hopefully he just puts it in the basket.
Great run. He gave it an attempt.
Derek here looks like about the edge of circle.
Yep, this is for par. So we know he wants it. Other than the nice putt. Other than the snowman on the front nine on hole 2, he has had a clean scorecard. So that was really his only blemish.
Yeah, at par or below.
Yeah, so he saved himself from having another one right there as the other guys tap in to finish the hole. And we'll move on to hole 16. This is 270 feet, par 3. Out of the gap, you have OB left, tree line right. Looking to either throw a layup shot just short of that OB in front of the basket or a big turnover to get up there to the green. Looks like the wind's blowing a little bit too, so that should make this angle interesting.
Yeah, it's tricky, and especially trying to get around that corner.
Yeah, he just laid up. He just tossed a nice soft forehand out there to the layup zone.
Try to put it near the A pin.
Yeah, didn't want to mess with it. I mean, the scores are pretty close right now, and with that wind coming in and that turnover angle, things could get weird.
Brock wants to be on coverage tomorrow.
This is Jake.
Yeah, good layup.
And it turns over too much, but it left him in a fine spot.
Yeah, it could be a little tricky. There's those trees right there by the out of bounds. He may have to just kind of go up and around for a pitch up, but he's just fine. Derek.
I know he can get there, so I'm curious. Yeah, I know he's going for it. Derek's not going for
It's
it,
a great
right?
shot.
Not going to go for it.
You'll probably
See that? Okay, so that side over there is safe
Yes.
below the path. So he should have a long look for a 2.
Yeah, there's just really that little pond in front of the basket, a little OB area.
Let's go, Drew. That's a freaking money.
Along with the tall grass that you see.
Yeah. Drew.
Holy
Yeah,
What a
let's
move
go.
on that
Good shot,
one.
Drew.
cow.
Man. Even the
Okay.
volunteers are over there and all.
That was a great shot. Holy cow.
Brock, nice smart pitch up. Gonna take his 3 and get out.
And you can see the wind blowing. I'm like still over here with my jaw on the floor. I want to know what Drew threw on that one. I'm going to have to talk to him. I'm going to have to find him. Drew, do you see me next time? Come chat me up.
Yeah, it's whipping out there.
So I'm saying it's not an easy shot when the wind's blowing like that. Just the angle they have to come out of the gap.
Just trusting an understable disc in that situation, yeah.
Derek
Nice.
just lays up.
So this is going to be a nervy putt. Downhill behind the basket and OB back there.
With the wind as a factor.
Nice putt, Drew.
Yep. Very good.
Yep.
Oh wow. He
Get it.
he likes it, folks. He likes it. Maybe fined for celebration.
Nah. I like seeing the excitement.
No, not in this sport. I like that we can do that.
Just have a ref walk with us. Yellow
Right.
flags. Penalty flag.
Oh, you know some people that would be getting them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely do.
All right, so Derek just taps in his 10-footer for par.
Jake finishing out. Hole 17, par 3, 402 feet. It's a tricky fairway, a lot of trees in the way you're throwing over OB, and you can see the tall grass surrounding the basket. So there's OB all around this fairway and the green. The key is you're going to have to get it up high, maybe a high spike hyzer. With this wind is going to be tricky. So we're going to have to see how they play it out. Drew looking at a backhand. I don't think you're going to see any forehands on this hole.
I don't think so either. And so you have these big mature trees that you have to work around too, and if you get caught up in any of the ones that are in the out of bounds, then you just trickle down and you're OB. So getting through all of this is tough.
There's a lot of space.
And it did play as the hardest hole of the day at
Yeah.
.74 over par.
That's
So
a great shot by Drew. He's actually sitting right at the edge of circle.
excited to see what these guys can do on this hole.
Yeah, this is always a tough hole. I'm not really surprised to hear it play is the hardest one because, like you said, if you hit any of these early trees, you're dropping into OB. Brock lining up a backhand as well.
Sit over it.
It looks a little early, maybe,
Nice shot.
but
Yeah, it's a
as
bit.
long as he can just nestle. Ooh. Oh, that's close.
Oh, he's right next to Drew. Can't tell.
Yeah, the little.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
He's not sure if it's in or out.
I was gonna say the look on his face didn't,
That's
mine.
didn't tell me one way or the other.
No, we were literally lining it up, and I was like, this is so fucking dumb.
All right, so Smasher is up next. And, you know, he can throw so far that I wonder on a hole like this if he, he has to dial it down a little bit, and that's difficult because of that OB behind the basket. As opposed to like someone who's just gonna throw pin high or short when they're throwing 100%.
Come on, go left.
Yeah, the amount he puts on it, and also the disc selection is really important. I
think he
I have
clipped
no clue, dude.
something.
Yeah, didn't see it come back. Hands on the head. That's usually not a good sign.
That is definitely not a good sign.
First, I thought he was gonna hit the tree, and then just 20 feet over the tree.
Derek coming up.
Oh, he's taking the jacket off for this one, people. Better
Yeah,
watch out.
I think by this point it was kind of spitting rain a little bit, and obviously you can see the wind.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Look at it. This is a punishment for being bottom of the box.
yeah. Sometimes it works out that way.
It does sometimes. Oh man. Well, let's see if he can do work right here.
Do work. Looks like a pretty good line. It's got to get over those trees.
Be honestly.
All right.
Yeah, a little short in the fairway though. He's safe.
Probably like not too far from the A pin.
Jake. Oh, he caught that tree.
Yeah, I think he could be OB again. If he didn't poke through, and it looks like he was probably OB again.
Yep, he was. So now throwing his fourth shot
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you say
up near the basket.
I knew you were trying to hit through.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can tap that in for his double bogey. Stop the bleeding.
And Derek just tosses one up there and under the basket. He's just going to take his par and move on.
Brock got the 2 look here.
Oh, yeah, so he was in bounds. Okay. Ooh. Dang, that was nice. He canned that thing.
I forgot. I wasn't sure if he was, but yes, that was a birdie. That's a great putt. Drew looking to do the same here.
See if he can follow that up. I mean, Brock just showed him the line. And Drew just needs to repeat.
Never want to get big putted.
Not fun.
I think the nickel might have saved him there.
That's true. That is true. So, no nickel plate. He goes right over and potentially they'll be on the other side.
Yeah,
So,
he could have skipped right off the top of the basket.
yeah. So in hindsight, that could have been way worse.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, take your 3.
Yep.
Jake now putting for his 5.
I thought for a second that's going to be really too
A little high, but it was right on the foot.
high. Derek goes to tap in. Jacket back on now.
Brock taking the solo birdie there.
That leads us to hole 18. This is a 489-foot par 4. This is the easiest hole. Okay, so we went from hardest to easiest. This played about a half stroke under. They don't really have to navigate OB as far as throwing over it on a drive per se, but it's left and it's right.
Yeah, you wanted to get the turn like
on.
you see Brock's
Come
here,
on.
but it needs to have a stable finish.
Yep, stable up at the end, and then, oh my goodness.
That held on.
Whoa.
Tried.
That thing dug in at just the right time.
You will also sometimes see players play the big hyzer around the big tree on the right there.
Yeah,
But I
that's
think
true.
we have a crosswind from left to right, so it may not come back.
Fair. That is a good call. I wouldn't want to hang it out over that right side in that type of wind condition, so it's just another factor when you play here, especially from the blue pads.
Drew's got this turned over. Cut rolls back into the fairway. Safe.
Yeah, I mean, you can get up and down from there. It's a par 4, so I mean, a three is gettable from there. He can still get a birdie from where he's at. He just
Oh,
needs to
absolutely.
dig in and focus, and keep his head up. I know Derek is looking to finish strong. He's had a pretty good scorecard today with the exception of one hole.
Coming in a little high and looks like a little short.
Yeah. So he's kind of pinned behind all those trees there. They're just like littering that left side. So he might have a gap. He might have to go out and around. We'll have to see what he chooses to do.
Yeah, the miss is definitely, you want to be towards the right side of the fairway, just not out of bounds. Because if you go into the trees on the left-hand side, you're struggling to find a line. Jake here almost hits
Is that you?
my co-TD. No, that's John.
Oh.
Zoltansky, shout out to him for helping me all 3 days out here
Oh,
at
I thought you were standing next to him with the safe
and,
sign.
Jake, after that throw, decided to put his entire bag into the trash can.
Yeah.
And now he's got to go grab everything back out.
Really hope that he like sanitized that thing later. No about that.
Yeah. Especially during COVID, right? It's a pretty good shot there by Drew. Didn't exactly get the full skip up he wanted, but he should have a look at a 3.
Okay, so we see Derek on the knee here. And it looks like he's going to have to play this out in a round shot and probably, just try to throw something stable and skip back in towards the pin down on the left. And he, full body commitment.
Does
Gives
exactly
himself
that.
a putt, yeah. Okay, opportunities.
Couldn't quite tell who that was. I think that might have been Brock. No, that wasn't Brock.
I think that was Jake.
That was Jake.
Yeah.
Brock's down by the line. Yep.
Yep. Still taking his meter relief because he's within a meter of the OB, but he is, in fact, playing that shot in bounds. No penalty stroke. Couple trees between him and the basket. Just a few.
Yeah, it's a tricky line to get through there. And high, high is not where you want to miss.
Yeah, the branches are just going to hold you up every time. So here we see him again.
Even so, birdie putt from here.
Yeah, that's true. So he's on a straddle. And his birdie. And just off the top. Solid round from him today, though, overall.
Yeah, it was clean. What do you have? 1 bogey, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One bogey today. So.
In the wind and at this course with a lot of OB. That's solid.
Agreed. And that was Drew. He did not like it.
Yeah, I'm not sure he fully took his time on that one.
Yeah. It's been a long round. And, 2 more rounds ahead of these players. Derek is looking to get his birdie here. He gave himself a good opportunity based on where he was.
Let's bring himself one within one. Did he? I think he hit chains there, just a little bit off.
Yeah, but he'll walk away most likely with a par. Upside down putt from
was, yep.
Mr. Hebenheimer. Always creative when it comes to the putting.
It's fun to watch.
I agree. Derek taps in for par after a pretty solid round today. One tough hole. Brock also taps in for par. I know he would have liked that birdie, but overall good round.
That's going to do it for our round 1 coverage of the 2021 St. Charles Open. Brock Rohler is taking off with the lead here at 5 under. We'll be on coverage tomorrow.
If you enjoyed today's coverage, we encourage you to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you again to Skyheiser Productions for bringing us this content. We hope you join us for round 2 at Quail Ridge.
See you tomorrow.